Hi, friends. Welcome to the March Wolfe Pack Warriors update. I'm Christy Wolfe, and I'm the Executive Director of the Wolfe Pack Warriors Foundation. The Wolfe Pack Warriors Foundation supports local charities in Alberta that are supporting opportunities for access to the outdoors and athletics, children and their families, as well as women's education and leadership. Our tagline is Give, Amplify, Connect, and I will come back to that because that's also the name of our brand new podcast that we just rolled out in February. But before I jump too far into that, I want to say thank you. I appreciate you. I appreciate you for taking the time to watch this update. I appreciate you for reading through the newsletter when you have a moment or sharing a post on Instagram or Facebook or LinkedIn. All of those things help us to amplify the mission of the organizations that we are working with. So thank you for taking the time to do that. I also wanted to jump in and tell people a good news story. So just recently, there was a event called the Coldest Night of the Year. It was something happening across Canada. I think there was 182 different locations, and there were teams in Canmore, there were teams in Calgary, and there were teams in Edmonton that were getting together to walk outside to raise awareness about homelessness in our cities. One of the really cool things is that altogether, they were trying to raise $12 million across Canada, and they actually beat their goal. They raised 12.5 at the point that I was looking at this. And we had 3 people who are Wolfe Pack Warriors who were being matched to their donations. And so in Canmore, they were supporting the Homelessness Society of the Bow Valley, and that group of people raised $1,200 altogether. In Calgary, the Wolfe Pack Warriors that were working together there were working for Woods Homes and raising money there. And again, another $1,200. And then in Edmonton, they were supporting the Bissell Center. And so again, I just want to point out that there are so many different ways that you can get involved. We are looking for people who have an organization that they care about. Tell us about it, share it with us. There's sometimes ways we can give back to that organization as you're working on it. So be sure to share. I also wanted to mention we have another Wolfe Pack Warrior that earlier this year did a bike-a-thon at her school, and she was supporting the Make-A-Wish Foundation of Canada. And so I know also we got to match some of the donations that were made to her as she fundraised. So congratulations to all 4 of those people that have stepped up and put in ideas for us about who we can support with you. All right, this time around, right now, our current initiative is with Little Warriors, and I'm just pulling up my screen. You know how much I love to share screens. So here's our website. Little Warriors is who we've been working with for the last few months. And Little Warriors is an Alberta-based charity that is focused on the awareness, prevention, and treatment of child sexual abuse. So on our landing page, we will show you and bring you through to their right to their site to learn more about them through their own website. But we've also highlighted a few of their programs, the Be Brave Ranch, their Bridge program, and Prevent It, which is a online or in-person workshop. I really want to talk about this Prevent It workshop for a second because we're going to be hosting one along with Little Warriors coming up on March 27th. So you can learn more about it by taking a look and moving over to the website to find out a lot more information. But if you're like, yeah, I think that might be something I'm interested in, we're hosting I guess it's more like a webinar on Monday, March 27th from 6 to 9 p.m. It's virtual. All you need to do is register here. Maybe you look at it and think, okay, I'd like to do that, and then see if it would make sense to do with an organization that I work with, a school, a team, I don't know, whoever. But you can also book your own Prevent It workshop. So if that's something of interest for an organization you work with, that might be a spot to do that. So I wanted to draw your attention to this Prevent It workshop coming up. I'm registered. I have to say, as a teacher, I didn't know where to turn. I didn't know all the signs. And so this feels a little late for me, but I also have kids that are growing up in my household, and these are not issues that are going to be going away. So this is definitely something that I'm going to be taking a look at. I also mentioned that our first Give, Amplify, Connect podcast went live, and we did that with Glory Meldrum of Little Warriors. So she's the founder. In the notes down here, you can find out all about it. It tells you about what Little Warriors is, and then it also shares with you a little bit about what is happening in the podcast. You can skip ahead to those points. It has Glory's bio so that you find out a bit more about her if you didn't know that kind of stuff, as well as how you can get involved. So I wanted to bring the podcast to your attention. And normally it looks like this. So if you come on our webpage, though this podcast, you can find it on Spotify, not on iTunes, because I cannot make that one work yet, but I'll keep trying. So Spotify or Buzzsprout, and you can get the information right through here. I'll kind of circle around. We are working on a digital story with somebody from Little Warriors that wants to amplify their message. So that we'll come back to that and let you know when that one's done for you to see. And then coming up, there are a few Little Warriors specific events that are happening. And so the Be Brave Luncheon on May 10th in Edmonton and the golf tournament on September 6th. So I'm just going to leave it up here just so you have this beautiful visual in your mind as I talk, because during the podcast, Glory said, there's a way for you to help. You just have to decide you're going to do it. And a big part of what the Wolfe Pack Warriors is doing is to give, to amplify, and connect. So if we think about that idea of giving can mean money. It can be as little as $5. You can connect and donate to them directly. We do not need to be any part of that. But it might also mean volunteering your time. I'm sure they need a lot of help setting up the Be Brave Luncheon. I'm sure they need volunteers at the golf tournament. Those would be two examples of times that they could use volunteers. Another idea is to host a third-party event. If Little Warriors has really struck a chord with you, they've got information on their website about hosting a third-party event. And actually, if I pop over to their website, this is where you can find out a lot of different things. So all of their events are here, how you can help. I mean, there's a ton of ways. And they also have a resource list on here, things like items and supplies needed. So maybe it's not a financial item, but maybe there are things that you can actually drop off. They have things like urgently needed, appliances, and it goes on and on. So there are a ton of things in here that maybe you've just got laying around that you're thinking, how can I actually use this and how could I give back? That might be one of your options. So give. Doesn't have to be financial, could be time, could be gifts in kind. Those are the kinds of things that we want people to start thinking about. Amplify. If you think about Little Warriors, could you tell a friend about it? Could you tell 10 friends about it? Could you let people at your school know if you're teaching? Those are the kinds of things, again, that pop into my mind. Could you share the podcast about what we've been talking about and find out a little bit more that way? So just thinking about how can you help share the message of what Little Warriors is doing. And then I'm just kind of flipping around as I go, so you're not stuck on the same image. And then that connect piece. You can join us for the Prevent It workshop that we're hosting on the 27th. I think we have about 10 more spots right now. And it would be a great way to learn a little more, ask some questions, just find out what they're doing there with how to prevent child sexual abuse. The other option is to pop over to their events. You can get this through our page, but maybe you just want to go join them for their May 10th Be Brave Luncheon. That would be an example of another way that you could connect with them or share that message. All right. I am going to stop sharing my screen for a minute and show you the book that we're doing for a giveaway this month. So this is Gloria Meldrum's book. It's called Warrior. In order to win this, you need to message me through one of our social media platforms, or you could email wolfpackwarriors@gmail.com and just tell me the name of our new podcast. So you've probably noticed it. If you look on any of the social media, you'll find it there. It'll probably even be in the newsletter attached to this. But just tell me the name of the podcast and I'll put you in the draw. I will draw this kind of in time for the Prevent It workshop. So March 27th, that's how much time you have to get your answer in there. And the last thing I wanted to do is I wanted to tell you a little bit about some other things that are coming up. We have Little Warriors is our big initiative going on for Q1, but that doesn't mean there aren't other things happening. So this is just a quick Google Doc. But these are some of the other dates of things coming up that we are, as Wolfe Pack Warriors, connected in some way. March 15th, Mental Health Foundation Breakfast in Edmonton. March 22nd, there's the Battle for the Badges, and that's with Legacy Place Society. That is a hockey game. It's in Spruce Grove. I've mentioned the March 27th Prevent It workshop hosted by Little Warriors. April 5th, in Edmonton, Meals on Wheels is having a Wing Wednesday event. In Calgary on April 27th, CADS, which is the Canadian Adaptive Snow Sports Association, their gala is coming up. ARNET Nursing Research Lunch in Edmonton, the Alberta Council of Women's Shelters Leading Change Summit, and then, as I mentioned, May 10th is Little Warriors Be Brave Luncheon. All of these links, which will be connected to the newsletter, can get you tickets or give you more information if any of those things are of interest. But yeah, I just wanted to make sure I took a moment to share that. So as a final note, please remember to take care of yourself and your pack. You matter, friends. Have a lovely rest of the day, and be sure to contact me if you have any questions.